we've got to talk about this honey situation.
By now, you've probably heard about honey.
And of course, honey looks pretty cute on paper.
Honey is bad.
I think honey is more of a scam than the shake weight. This shit is foul.
I'm about to talk about all the horrible things honey did.
So on behalf of creators everywhere, I have filed a class action lawsuit to stop it.
Okay, I think it's finally time that I break the silence and respond to the controversy. It's finally time to debunk everything that's been said about me and clear my name forever. And in order to do that, we need to take a step back and disconnect ourselves from the AI-empowered overlords controlling everyone's thoughts and opinions. Now be careful. If you don't take the proper precautions before attempting to watch this video, the neural link wirelessly controlling your thoughts could detonate your brain before you have the chance to properly learn. So continue at your own risk. And if any of you in on the tricks and schemes that paint my everyday world are watching this, you might as well look away now, because I encoded this video with an activation code for the biocomputer in your home to reject you and kill you if you watch too far. For those of you few trusted who have taken the proper precautions and are ready to move along with the video, follow me to the basement. Before we continue further, I just had to put on my helmet. I call it the machine that lets me read people's minds when I want to, or Psychopomp for short. But something strange happened when I first put it on. It didn't let me read people's minds, but it did let me see something else. A world that was hidden from me, that everyone knew about. A world hidden in plain sight with all sorts of animals and creatures and dead bodies. I will not allow any more secrets to be kept from me. Psychopomp is a game made and released by the team at Fading Club back in January of 2024. Well, I say team, but that's not really true. Fading Club is just the name of a studio founded and run entirely from the ground up by a solo developer known as Karbonic online. Karbonic is an insanely talented individual for reasons we'll get into in just a second, but above all else, his mind is free from the government psyops, and with that knowledge and know-how, he shared with us the methods to free ourselves. All of that information is actually useless though, because today we're talking about Psychopomp Golf, or Psychopomp Gold. I'll be reviewing this game without having played the free version with less content, so keep that in mind as I won't really know what changed between the two.
Listen.
What? Who said that?
It's me, the Psychopomp.
Alright. I guess being able to hear you makes sense.
You are me, I am you. We are one, and together we will uncover the secrets of the universe. With me at your side, we... Wait, are you?
I got distracted.
Look, I get you're into robot girls, but I don't think that we can...
What?
What? I don't even think I count as a robot girl, so...
You can...
I can read your thoughts, yeah. That's kind of the whole reason I was built.
So you can see...
Yep.
Psychopomp Gold is about a girl who discovers the truth about the world as I did, and with her trusty Psychopomp, she delves deep into the earth to discover what lies underneath our feet. The answers all lie underground. As she continues her journey, she must find the eggs of the earth and press deeper and deeper to uncover all the secrets that everyone has been keeping from us. That's all I can really say without getting into spoilers. If you don't want any spoilers, use the timestamp on the screen to skip past them. Otherwise, stay here and listen to all you want. Uncover the secrets for yourselves. Psychopomp is easily one of the most visually distinctive games that I've played this year. I'm probably about to sound like an asshole snob right now, but PS1 demo disc type titles have become a pretty big thing over the last 5 or 6 years. Since the assets are relatively simple and our programs have evolved to such a degree, these types of games are on the simpler side to develop, and due to that, the market got pretty saturated pretty quick. And I got picky. I'm not too into horror. My life every morning is already a horror show, and the PS1 horror genre had yet to really sell me on the style. I've always loved low poly aesthetics, don't get me wrong, but most of the PS1 demo disc horror game things didn't really impress me visually, which makes things tough when the aesthetic of those games is such a big selling point. The games felt more like baby's first low-poly project that only really thought about the assets far enough to give them low-res texture sheets, turn on vertex wobbling, maybe throw a half-assed CRT filter over that and call it a PS1 game. I'm very happy to report that after some time has passed and I actually gave the genre a chance, the cream has risen to the top, and there are a lot of gems. I feel like this PS1 movement made room for games like Psychopomp to come out and actually thrive. The low-poly models and low-res textures gave a grimy feel to the dilapidated buildings holding these eggs hostage, and populating these areas are beautifully unsettling creatures and corpses, almost reminding me of the perfectly unsettling art of Trevor Henderson, while still remaining decisively its own thing. I'm going to have a really difficult time containing my interest invested in whatever this developer does next, not so casually eyeing his other works, Nashboard and Dashboard, with an insatiable curiosity, wondering what I might find as I delve into their depths as well. The visual stylings of this game are addicting. Since horror is such a subjective medium, everyone wants something different. I like to be unsettled. Movies like Nope really accentuate what I think my perfect horror experience is. Very few actual oh my god scary moments, but constant tension. Rising to a point, but holding on and refusing to boil over until you genuinely can't get any more freaked out. Psychopomp feels somewhat similar to me, filling me with dread, holding this tension over me. But instead of releasing tensions with scares or something, it releases it by filling some silent moments with things of genuine interest. Things that I'm not scared of, but rather just insatiably curious about, interesting ideas and somber characters. Oh, sorry, did you?
No, I coughed.
Oh. So, how are you gonna help me clear my name?
I mean, I didn't say I could do that, but I guess I could.
So, what do you think?
I've got an idea.
I'm listening?
What if you just told everyone that you didn't scam all those people?
How would that work at all? I don't know why they're accusing me of any of that to begin with. I have zero evidence that I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So do you have any ideas?
No! You're the one who's supposed to have all the ideas.
You could...
I'm not going to crash a plane into the World Trade Center again. How would that help anything?
I was just going to say that you could find out who is actually responsible to clear your name.
Oh. The sound, similar to the atmosphere, is haunting, eerie, and just enough out of place to be unsettling. Your footsteps sound like this. Every time you kill an enemy, or friend, it sounds like this. And the rest of the interactions sound just as off-putting and unnatural. The music is just as unique as the visuals, and probably because they were also made by the same solo dev for this project. The music is just awkward enough to feel right at home, but also conventional enough to still just register as a good track to vibe to. The music sometimes reminds me of Grimbeard stuff, actually, which, as a quick mention, if you like retro video game essays and a sort of gothy aesthetic, check him out. He's one of my favorite YouTubers out there. And if you like this music, he makes similar stuff too. I would talk more about the music, but I am very stupid when it comes to music. I don't know, it's good, okay? Listen to it, and close your eyes, and feel the vibes. Within the game, the combat isn't very challenging. Most of the time you just sort of scoot backwards and swing with your hammer, since most of the enemies walk towards you slowly. If it's one of the few quicker enemies, they'll most likely hit you and you just need to be careful about how quickly you kill them. I will say that in the real world, dealing with creatures is much more challenging. So without combat, what does the gameplay consist of? Well, as you've seen throughout the video, the game is a pretty classic and not too overcomplicated dungeon crawler where most of the time, you'll just explore and interact with the world around you to find secrets and switches that'll help you progress. With the help of your inventory, you can store keys to unlock doors and pick up and store syringes to heal yourself with. Most of the game's appeal comes from its style and the way the narrative slowly unfolds as you explore and see all the sights. I would argue it would feel a bit too bare bones if not for the short length and amazing atmosphere propped up by the storytelling, sound design, and visuals. Now, I wasn't able to secure an interview or actually be able to get in contact with Karbonic for this video, but he has gone on record and talked about some of his game online and answered people's questions in text there, so let's go take a look at those really quick. Do you have an age for the main character of Psychopomp? Spiritually, 4.503 billion years. Biologically, 23 years. That's how old I am. Psychological rebirth, like 2 days? I guess that's like probably alluding to the fact that she just got the Psychopomp and just started being able to see the truth. I am just right there asked, I have to ask, what was your favorite part of developing Psychopomp Gold? This is a complicated question. As it stands, Psychopomp Gold was a very strenuous development cycle for me. It was a year of self-imposed crunch that ran into a lot of roadblocks on the way. There were many moments that it felt like the project may not materialize at all, but I'm very glad that I stuck through with it to the end. I'm happy with the final product. That being said, I loved recreating the old models. There's something that is very exciting and fulfilling to me about remaking older assets. I've done it a lot for Dashboard, and getting to redo models like the bodyguards or the old Thraits was a lot of fun. Getting to see improvements side by side is a blast. I'm very proud of how the hospital patient rooms look in the comparison to their base game counterparts. Music was another fun part of development. For me, music can be one of the more relaxing portions of creation. I can be experimental and have fun with it a way that coding and modeling demand against. Making sounds that I felt fit the environments was fun, and I can't wait to make more music in the future. Anonymous asked, hypothetically, not saying I would, are you able to eat an egg of the earth? They look a little bit like fish eggs, and fish eggs are edible, so like, are they edible? Amniotic fluid and cheese flavor. Anonymous asked, what do Venus's shoes look like? This is an interesting question because it changed multiple times over the course of the development of Gold. I considered hard army-like boots because of her violence and physical strength, but I don't feel like it fits her previous life. She does not create a new outfit outside of the helmet itself. Everything she wears is simply a stripped-down version of her initial outfit seen in the intro. She sheds her skin. At one point, I considered her being barefoot. I thought it would be funny, considering how horribly disgusting and tetanus-inducing the environments would be. It also felt like a potential literal physical connection between her and the earth beneath. I quickly decided against this. To be frank, I didn't trust the fan base with it. So as it stands, she wears brown slide-on shoes that are just presentable enough to wear to work. They have black toe guards and soles. NXHNA says, I don't even know anymore. I think this is a sign that we could move on. This is the section where I blatantly copy exactly what Grimbeard does at the end of his videos. Sometimes, I don't know. Maracuso posted, oh my god, why is this girl so slow? And yeah, she moved pretty slow. But also, if you've ever played a dungeon crawler, that's not that unusual. I think this dude just doesn't like the genre, and that's completely fair. Surprised he played it for 5.2 hours, though, to get to that conclusion. Absolute Zero says, if you like based game, this is very good for your brain. If you're a completionist like me, it's not the kind of game you play to finish. It's more of an experience. And I think I agree, as somebody who generally likes to completionist games that I'm really, really into. I feel like a game really needs to hook me in the gameplay aspect for me to feel okay throwing away that much time. If you're just playing it for the story and the lore and stuff, and you're trying to 100% it, then you're getting a lot of diminishing returns as time goes forward. Ollie from Solly says, boring game with lots of wasted potential. Walk slowly around dungeons, pick up keys, use them, repeat for a few hours. It only has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam because its protagonist is unduly fetishized by brain-dead Discord troonies. This was a fucking insane one to find. I can agree that the game's gameplay isn't like too insane, I feel like its main selling points are like the atmosphere, the music, the art, like all of that sort of stuff, the lore. I know people get really into the lore. It was really confusing for me the first time, but as I've dug more into it, it's really interesting and pretty fun. But I can see why its gameplay being so bare bones might turn some people off and away from it, even if it is super short. Sly says, real world tip. Despite common belief, the real, more profitable purpose of the World Trade Center was to trade lizards. These lizards were not lizard men, but the traders were not human. Their shedded skin worked as a hallucinogen and was responsible for the screaming most commonly heard in the financial district of Manhattan. George Bush was diagnosed during his annual physical to have herpetophobia. This is actually just completely false. I don't know why you'd go onto the internet and say these lies. George Bush did not have herpetophobia. Actually, one of his best friends was a lizard, so Cutie Patootie. Oh, Cutie Patootie. Cutie Patootie says, doesn't have Mercury Emprig. Okay, so Mercury's a character that I'm not going to explain to you guys. And you guys know what Emprig... I don't have to explain this shit. I'm moving on. Miss X Gaming says, Honesty is such a good game, despite the gameplay not being, quote, fun, end quote. But is a true art game, is not about playing, is about exploring and learning about the world. Pure art. I love it. Cannot wait for the sequel. And I can agree with that. It's like, even in like the positive comments, you guys are seeing that people aren't really too impressed with the moment-to-moment gameplay. And if that's something that's like really important to you, then I can see why you might not be super into it. But if you let the story and the world and the art and the atmosphere just sort of drag you through the experience, it is a hell of a lot of fun. Not to mention it doesn't go on super long, so you don't have to deal with the sort of iffy gameplay for that long. Overall, it seems like people really liked this game. The overall reviews are overwhelmingly positive, and I can understand why. Psychopomp Gold is very unique and very interesting. Even though I think it was made pretty obvious by all of the reviews that it isn't perfect, I still think it's damn good. Very interesting, and I'm very excited to see what he works on next.
I've got it.
Got what? What's going on?
Okay. So after doing some research, nobody actually knows that you're responsible for everything that Honey PayPal does. They all think it's PayPal execs doing this and not you.
Oh, so I'm already in the clear?
Yes. However, there is a single person in Toledo, Ohio who has correctly guessed your identity as the one responsible for the World Trade Center in 2001.
We can handle a single person. Huge thanks to my patrons, Aina_IV and Kimikaru, for supporting the channel. The amount of help you both provide is really hard to understate. This video was a ton of fun to make. I loved writing it and putting it together. Please go check out the game and its solo developer. I've provided links in the descriptione down below. Otherwise, if you're watching this on the day it releases, I'm actually beginning a massive donathon to help me afford to go to a con and meet up with a bunch of other content creators. If I do manage to raise the money I need, I will absolutely be recording and uploading a big old video about it here. So if you want to help, check out my Twitch channel, where I will be streaming a lot over the coming month or so. Basically, however long it takes me to finish Metaphor ReFantazio, The Witcher 3, and Okami HD. That's it for me. Kijo, signing off. Did you guys notice how much the video fucking sucks? What the hell?